In what ways is abstinence before marriage beneficial? Hi, my name is Martha. I'm a clinical sexologist with a doctorate in human sexuality. I'm also a relationship coach, and you can find me at Eros Coaching. That's EROS coaching.com. Okay, so abstinence before marriage. So there are people who abstain before marriage. I have worked with many people who have abstained before marriage, not just the girl, the men too. And people do this because of cultural and religious reasons. And it's really important to respect their decision. There are times that they impose onto themselves that this is the right thing to do, to wait for sex until marriage. In this day and age, because of the amount of education that is required to kind of like have even a office job, most people are kind of expected to have a degree, so we are postponing marriage. So abstaining from sex till after marriage is still possible and still being done by a lot of people I know, but actually what's happening is we are getting older when we are having sex for the first time. So some of the other reasons why people might abstain from sex before marriage is they are afraid of being used for sex, and not just the woman but also the man. Being used for sex, being treated as used goods, being rejected, being cast out by their society, being branded. These are some of the fears. So there's this possibility of bargaining too. And it goes along the lines of, if I'm a good girl and I behave the way that I should behave, then my life will be good. So there's this bargaining. If I do this, then I will get this. Okay. There's also the possibility of the whole Prince Charming syndrome, which is I'm waiting for my one true love. I'm waiting to be rescued. I'm waiting for my happily ever after. So these are some of the reasons, okay? I'm not making fun of any of you who choose to do this. I'm just sharing some of these possible ideas of why people choose to abstain from sex before marriage. So I just want to say a few things about abstinence before marriage, is that it is not a guarantee. Okay, it's not a guarantee that you will be happy in your marriage. It's not a guarantee that just because you value not having sex before marriage, that your partner will also value it. Your partner might not value it. Even if your partner values it, it doesn't mean that you guys will be happy. It doesn't mean that the relationship will be happy in terms of the communication skills, including being able to compromise, being able to have maturity, to have what we call emotional quotient in the relationship. Therefore, there is no guarantee abstinence before marriage will mean you will be happy, okay? It also doesn't mean that because you abstain before sex, you haven't tasted the forbidden fruit, that you waited, that sex will be easy and you will have a lot more pleasure. You've stored up the pleasure quotient and then you'll be very, very happy, totally blissed out with sex after marriage. That is no guarantee as well. And another thing that there is no guarantee too is the longevity of your marriage, which means if you behave, be a good girl and good boy, that you'll be happy and your marriage will last long time, long time, to the ends of time. No, it's not a guarantee as well. Okay, you marry someone, it's a lot like a gamble, really. You marry someone to the best of your ability. You think you know this person inside out, outside in, and sometimes some of my clients have arranged marriages, so they don't really know that person that well either. That's a big gamble. Then they marry this person. They're not necessarily happy. They're very unhappy. Maybe there might be cheating, whatever, and then they break up. So abstaining from marriage, abstaining from sex is not a guarantee of being in a long marriage, okay? So I just want to say some of these things. And abstaining from sex before marriage completely, which means people shut down their sexuality, don't masturbate, don't touch themselves, can result in a discomfort around sex and sexuality, meaning like they're so uncomfortable, like don't talk about it. So there's this like inhibition around it. It doesn't mean that after marriage, like all the veils will come off automatically. All these layers needs to come off, and some people don't know how. So I work with many clients who are disconnected from their bodies, which means that they don't know like what sensation and pleasure means. They really don't know. They don't know because they have never done it. They haven't tried it. Or maybe they tried 1 or 2 times, but they're scared of it. So they are disassociated, meaning they are having things done to them, but they can't really feel it. disassociated also. There are also people who have difficulties with consummating their marriage, which means, for instance, like don't know how to have sex. I've had clients who are like that too. I also have clients who have vaginismus. So this is a condition that happens when a woman's vagina shuts down, making penetration difficult or impossible. So then their consummation of their marriage is not just difficult, it's actually next to impossible. So with some guidance, with some support, it is possible to overcome all of these challenges. So I'm a sexologist. I work with people with loss of sexual inhibitions. So I've learned to really be very patient with them. And it breaks my heart. It makes me feel really sad that they have what they call lost years. You know, they wasted all this time being good girl and good boy. And then they regret that actually that has not guaranteed them what they thought they would have. You know, like you study hard, you get good results. But that wasn't the case in their marriage. So it's quite heartbreaking to hear these things from them. So I'm not trying to make a case to persuade you to change your mind. What I'm trying to say is give you the different perspective from my perspective as a sexologist. And so they may have problems with feelings of arousal, can't get excited. And if they do get excited, even if it's very difficult to get excited, they do get excited. And then they can't stay excited for long because their body's not used to it. And then they can't really enjoy sex because it's such a new, strange, alien feeling. It feels so awkward. Okay, with some guidance, with some support, it is possible. You do need to be patient with yourself because they've shut down sexuality for a really long time. So it really takes like all these layers on unfolding that needs to take place. They might try to have sex only for the purpose of procreation, which means, okay, it's a duty, it's a chore, I have to do it, I have to keep my man, I have to make the baby, I have to please my father, mother, mother-in-law, father-in-law, my village, my kampong, and my community, and all these things. There's a lot of pressure to have baby once a couple has gotten married. So they sometimes miss the point in trying so quickly to give them. They have all this pressure to have sex for the purpose of having baby. They miss the point of the pleasure and the emotional bonding that can happen when you have sex with someone, and how wonderful it can make you feel, and how amazing sex can be. They totally miss that point because of all that pressure that they're having. So what I can say is, it's your personal choice, okay? I'm a sexologist, but I respect people. I have to respect people for their differences. In fact, all of us should. So I respect you for your differences, but I don't want you to think about like lost years. I don't want you to be regret. I don't want you to have regret. I want you to be able to make a choice for yourself that feels good to you, that you know, okay, I've thought about it, like I've really like weighed all these things, and this is what I really want. If this is what you really want, go for it. Don't make anyone make you feel bad because they have different values, but know that there are difficulties that can happen. So my suggestion for you, for people who choose to wait until marriage for sex, is at least, please, at least be sexual by yourself. It's not dirty. You're pleasuring yourself. You are listening to your body. You are giving yourself permission. And it's good to actually have pleasure in different ways. There are lots of benefits to masturbating. There are all kinds of questions I get all the time about masturbation being dirty, sinful, addictive, harmful. I want to tell you that actually a lot of this is not true. I do encourage like masturbating in different ways, and being exploratory in learning about your own body. And then you're actually learning like different things, different skills. I have also met people who have abstained from sex, who come from like very religious upbringing and cultures, and yet still have a very positive attitude about sex. Generally, the people who are more educated about sex are generally the people who are more positive about sex. And because of that, they actually have less problems with sex. So I want this for everyone. And I'm just sharing different sides of it. And I hope you find it beneficial and useful. And I'd love to hear your comment. If you have questions, you can email me at ask@eroscoaching.com.